Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, one of the things that we have talked about a lot, I've taught kids this when we're teaching them fishing school, is the role of invasive species. And one of the things that I've been listening and reading a lot to try to come up with subjects to talk to you about, and one of them is that within the warmer conditions that we've had, it spurs on an increase of carbon dioxide in the air. Now, you remember when we had the fires in Canada and all the air quality here was so poor? Well, there was an awful lot of carbon dioxide. And who benefits from that but some of these invasive species plants? Poison ivy, in one instance, really expands. I told you about the instance of people even get poison ivy in their lawns down in central New York, where some of those air currents really settled in. Well, another thing that they have found, that poison ivy in general is really spreading because of this increase in carbon dioxide in the air. And you can take that to other species like hogweed that we've talked about. Hogweed is a viciously dangerous invasive species. It looks just like Queen Anne's lace, and it's found more and more in all areas in our area. But here's the other thing to remember. While there's a great expansion in the growth of these plants, whatever you want to call them, these vines, the other thing is that they become more toxic. So if you get poison ivy or poison oak or some of these other things on your body, and especially hogweed, the effects can be even worse than it was in the past. This is something to remember, because when we're talking about fishing, we're talking about going out in the environment around us, the shorelines, the woods, and so forth, to get to the water. And I remember years ago when a friend of mine had been fishing with a number of carp fishermen and trying to help them enjoy this area. And he got into hogweed along the St. Lawrence River. And oh my gosh, it was a terrible infestation, I guess is the only thing I can tell you, that can last for years and years and years. That the symptoms can go away. And then if you get in direct sunlight, oh my gosh, it can just cause the blisters to just burn your skin terribly. So just remember that there's so much around us, and invasive species can play a huge role in the quality of life that we have outdoors. Now, granted, poison ivy isn't an invasive species as such, but if it expands into areas that it wasn't in before, it can affect all the life around it. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.